Hi there! Thank you so much for stopping by. If it's your first time here, welcome to my channel, Disney Fan in Japan. And as my channel name says, I'm all about the Disney scene in and around Japan. And since my nails are rather prettiful for the time being, I thought it would be a good opportunity to show you some close-ups and do some unboxings. And as you can see, the theme of this unboxing will be Belle because she is my favorite princess and therefore I have a lot of her. One thing to note is none of these things are from the Disney store. There are some pretty awesome Disney stuff that you can get apart from the official store, and it's really worth looking out for, especially if you are into figurines. Of the four you see here, 3 of them are figures, and this one over here is actually a Tomica. I will save this one for last, because what these 3 have in common are they are all Qposket. Qposket is a type of character figurine, and they are especially known for having these anime-like features and very detailed bodies. So let's start off with the petites, shall we? These are Qposket Petit figures, and they're called Petit because they are the smaller version of the Qposket figurines. These figurines stand at about 9 centimeters tall, and the regular size are about twice as much. Qposket figurines are made by the company Banpresto. Banpresto is actually a subsidiary of a larger company called Bandai Namco. If you're wondering why Bandai Namco sounds so familiar, that's because they are one of the biggest video game developers currently out there. And the Banpresto division specializes in character merchandise, especially for Crane game prizes. And here I have 2 versions of the Qposket Petit Belle figurine. There were actually 3 waves, the first one being of Belle in her town outfit, the second being Ballroom Belle, and the latest release being Winter version Belle. I am missing Town version Belle because I did not know about Qposket Petit until last summer, and Town Belle came out in spring and I sadly missed her. So I missed my chance to get her, and she's kind of running a little bit high on the market right now. But anyway, let me show you the 2 that I have, and I'll be starting off with Winter Belle first. So I'll set Ballroom Belle aside for now, and I actually already put together the figurine, so I'll just show you the packaging design because it's Japan and their packaging is always amazing. And then I will show you the figurine itself. So let's begin with the package. There is this very pretty frame that goes around the character, and it says here on the front, Qposket. And here is an image of what the figurine looks like, and because it's Winter Belle, they have a winter scene in the background, turning it to the side, and you have another image of the Belle figurine. So this particular series involved Disney characters in their winter costumes. 3 of them were released at the same time. It was Belle, Snow White, and Jasmine. The bottom of the box and the top of the box. Now let's open her up. And here is Winter Belle. What I especially love about the Qposket figures, besides the fact that they are fully detailed, is that they're usually in very dynamic poses, and you can see that in the costumes. Like the way her cape is not straight but actually bends over here to show a wave, and the same thing can be said with her dress. So let's have a closer look, and you can see the details of her gorgeous face. I actually had to buy her twice, because the first time that I bought her, her eyes were super wonky, and I thought that was really weird. So I had to find another seller and purchase her again, and fortunately this one's eyes are normal, so I'm pretty happy about that. Lately it seems that Qposket faces, especially the eyes, are rather hit or miss, so that's really unfortunate because you can't really tell whether or not their eyes are fine until you unbox it. Let's give her a turn around so you can see a greater appreciation of how her clothes fall on her. There's her cute little pink bow at the back, and you can actually see the folds in her cape. Now let's show you a close-up of her face. I really like the painted details and how fine her eyebrows are, and in particular her mascara and her lipstick, and you can see a little bit of blush on her cheeks. And the details in her hair are pretty awesome too. You can see that there's a lot of folds to show that it's all bunched up into a ponytail. Really great detail in these figurines. And you can especially see that eye for detail in their hands and her fingers. And one last thing, which I was pleasantly surprised to find out, is that the details don't end at the top. They finish at the bottom. Look at that. These are the ruffles of her dress, including her shoes. This is Japan level detailing. And that's about it for Winter Belle. I'm really happy with how she turned out. Let's move on to Ballroom Belle. And here we have Ballroom Belle. She was the second of the 3, and she was my first Qposket Petit figurine. So she has a very special place in my heart. Of course, you have that gorgeous frame, and in the middle is a picture of the figurine itself. I'm really loving this design cover for Belle. It's so perfect. You have an image of the actual figurine itself. Advisory warning. And these are the other characters that were released at the same time as Belle. It's volume 3, which means this is one of many that came out. And in this particular release, there was also Rapunzel and Mulan. The top of the box shows a close-up of Belle, and there you have it. And here is Ballroom Belle. I had to change the camera angle because of the way she is posing. Again, a very dynamic pose. She's swaying off to the side, and you can see that in the way that the folds of her ballroom gown drape. And oh my gosh, look at how her hair flows. This is the very reason why I got into Qposket figurines. A lot of grace and movement captured in a very still pose. Let's turn her around. You can see just how they don't miss a detail. This is an incredible paint job. There are no scuffs, there are no marks, there's no discoloration, there's no missing spots of paint. Let's give you a close-up of her face. Again, a lot of great detail went into it. I can't get enough of how amazing her hair looks. Everything about this figurine is just... there are not enough words to express just how gorgeous this figurine is. And of course, I can't forget to show you the base because that is just as awesome. Not only does it show the ruffles of the petticoat of her gown, but also her shoes. Her shoes are so cute. She's a very simple figurine with a very simple color scheme, but it's the details that make her. And that's Ballroom Belle. Up next, here we have one of the newer Qposket releases, Sugirly. Sugirly is a combination of two words, sugar and girly. Sugar because their costumes are supposed to actually resemble a very elaborate pastry. And you'll see what I mean when I give you a close-up later. And this one is actually one of two color versions that came out. This is the second one, that's why there's a 2 here. You can think about it as two variants of the same figurine. The first one being Belle with darker hair, and then some parts of her dress are gold plated. First off, let's look at the packaging. This is what your regular Qposket size is supposed to be like, and you can see that it's twice as big as a Qposket Petit. Picture of the character in the front, and surrounding her are sugar cookies, because again, their dress is supposed to be fashioned after pastries. Turning the box around is a close-up of the Belle figurine. And then at the back here, please don't mind the ding over here because that's what happens when the box drops off into the slot. But here's a framed image of the character, and again with those sugar cookies around her. This side shows you more information about the art concept behind it. So the design of this figurine is due to a collaboration between Qposket and a sweets artist called Tomica. That's not her real name, but that's how she's known. Here you can see the other color variant of the figurine. This is the one I have, and down here's a small profile on who the artist is. Top of the box, and the bottom. Now this figurine I have not yet assembled, so you will see her from scratch. Oh my gosh, I kind of forgot just how separated they were. It's a little bit jarring to see your favorite character decapitated in such a way. So here's what they look like unassembled. They usually come in 3 parts. There's the base, there's the body, and then there's the head. And a quick look at her head tells me, oh, that's so good that her eyes are not wonky this time. Let's put her together. They separated all 3 parts into different compartments in the plastic, which is good so that the parts don't scratch against each other in shipping or handling. Let's take a moment to appreciate how even the base is detailed. Because it's Belle, there are motifs of roses around it, and then Belle would sit right in the middle here. So let's put her together. And here she is. This also happens to be my first ever Qposket Sugirly figurine. Everything about her is love. Let's turn her around so you can get a good look at her all over. Here she is from the side. Again, the folds of her dress are not to be missed, along with the lining in her hair. And her hair accessory here is particularly detailed. You can see that there is a design of a rose. The detailing of her dress also shows roses. The lacing of her dress is supposed to resemble icing because it is a sweets themed figurine. And because it's Belle, they have her holding a cup that looks like chip, and it is a chocolate drink. Let's do a close-up of her face. Again, very fine detailing. You can especially see that in her lower lashes here that you couldn't see in the Qposket Petit figurines. Basically, the bigger versions of the Qposket figurines can hold a lot more detail, so they're really worth appreciating. Here's her side profile. Bandpresser figurines are top tier. If you ever get a chance to get a hold of a Qposket figurine, they are so worth it. And as we did with the others, the bottom is also not to be missed. You can actually see her legs here a lot more clearly, to the point where you can even see how she is sitting. And you can also see her shoes. Amazing. I can't say enough about Qposket. If you ever have a chance to get your hands on a Qposket Sugirly, they are so worth it. this camera does not capture how gorgeous and how beautiful they are in person. Qposket figurines cannot be bought in stores because they are crane game prizes, which means you have to play a crane game in order to get these figurines. And because I really suck at crane games, I actually purchased all 3 from a third-party seller. For each one, I paid about 1,500 yen, which isn't too bad because when one round of a crane game costs about 500 yen, and it's not even a guarantee that you will get it at that one round, I figured paying about 1,500 yen for each figurine was a pretty good deal. And last but not least is a Tomica. A Tomica is actually a combination of 2 words. Tomi comes from the maker, which is Takara Tomy, as it says over here, and ka is from the word car. Therefore, Tomi and ka make Tomica. Tomica is actually a household name for all things model cars, and this one is of the Disney Motor merchandise line because they fashion cars that represent a particular character, and in this case, Belle. In Japanese, this particular item is called a potiron, and potiron is a Japanese loanword from the French word potiron, which means pumpkin. And as you can probably guess, it is supposed to resemble the pumpkin carriage of Cinderella. Here's a picture of what the vehicle is supposed to look like. So let's open her up and have a closer look. As is most things in Japan, you probably have to assemble it. There's not much to it. There's just 2 parts. This is the main body, and this is the top. Here is the carriage. Let's just take a closer look at the details before I set its top on it. The body is supposed to resemble the pumpkin carriage of Cinderella. The only difference is of course the color scheme. It is a very light yellow, and the rims of the wheels are painted gold, as is the ribbon here and the lining of the doors and the handles. It's kind of hard to see, but the windows and the background of the wheels here have glitter. The front of the carriage has a heart-shaped window, and on the front it says Belle in English. The other side is the same. The back also has the same heart-shaped window as the front and says Belle. Here is the inside. Again, Japanese level detailing over here. You can see the outlines of 2 chairs. The interior of the carriage is made of plastic, as are the wheels, and everything else feels like a very sturdy metal. I am pleasantly surprised with that quality. And here is the top. These are Mickey ears because it's Disney. It has the same glitter material as the windows and the interior of the carriage. And on the front, because it's Belle, there is an image of a rose. And this is a darker yellow compared to the body of the carriage. And we set that on the top, and that's what it looks like. Now, according to the box, they also advertise this as 1 part vehicle and 1 part accessory case. That's why the body of this vehicle is empty, so that you can put small things in there, like rings or earrings, which I think is an absolutely great idea. And that's why this particular line of the Disney Motors is called the Jewelry Way. This particular model was about 900 yen. I'm very pleasantly surprised by how sturdy the materials are and the overall design of it and its functionality. It's a really unique item, and I think it's a great souvenir that really depicts the creativity and the details of Japanese merchandise. I hope you enjoyed learning all about merchandise that you can get apart from the Disney store. If you have a chance to stop by a Kiddieland or an arcade, be sure to take a look because they often rotate merchandise, so you'll never know what you'll find. Thank you so much for sharing and spending your time with me. I hope you have a magical day, and I'll see you in the next video.